Puff puff is a traditional African snack that is made out of deep fried dough and can be found either as street food or served as small chops or finger foods at parties. If you've had one before, you'll know that they're delicious and honestly very hard to resist. Today, I'll be showing you how to make a healthier version of these puff puffs. So my version is baked and is sweetened with honey. So there's absolutely no sugar in this recipe. As always, tools and ingredients are listed in the description box below. Hi, I'm Funsho from Parley Couture Cakes and Treats, where I make truly decadent treats for special occasions. If you're new to my channel, my goal is to share easy, delicious recipes that you can recreate at home for your friends and family. Let's get started. So we'll start off by preparing the wet ingredients. We'll start off by pouring the water in a bowl. Then we'll add the honey. We'll mix that together until the honey is very well dissolved in the water. So you want to give that a very good stir. Then next we'll add the yeast. And so I think we all know that the yeast feeds on the sugar. And so that's what helps your dough to rise. So you want to set that aside and then get your dry ingredients. So here you have your flour. We're adding some freshly grated nutmeg. Next we'll add the salt. Then we'll add a little bit of baking soda to the dry ingredients. Then we'll mix all the ingredients together until they're very well combined. And then add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. At this point, I'll also add my butter. And the butter I'm using is at room temperature, just to make sure I can mix it in easily. You can also use melted butter, but what you want to ensure is that your melted butter is not hot. You want it to be cool before you pour it into this mix. If it's too hot, it can kill your yeast. So mix this dough until there are no longer any lumps. So you want to make sure that all of the butter, all of the flour, like the dry and the wet ingredients, are very well incorporated. And then once that's done, you'll cover it with a plastic wrap and leave it to rise. So typically I leave my dough in the oven with the light on. So you're not turning on the oven, all you're doing is turning on the light of the oven just to give it a little bit of heat and to help to activate the yeast. So you want to leave that in the oven for an hour to rise, and then it will almost double in size. So here, as you can see, I'm going to be using my cake pop maker to make these mini donuts. That's the only way you can keep the shapes round. Unless you use maybe a silicone mold, which I haven't tried, and I may try one day and let you know how that goes. But what I'll be doing is putting in about half a tablespoon of dough into each of those cavities, and then I'll let them bake for about 4 minutes each. And I should have mentioned this before you start adding dough to your cake pop maker, make sure you have preheated it for at least 5 minutes before you start using it. So you want to ensure that it's preheated before you start putting dough in the cake pop maker. Now I find that if you put more than half a tablespoon of dough, what happens is it'll overflow and then become a little messy. Half a tablespoon is just perfect for it to rise. So you fill in all of the cavities in the cake pop maker and then let it bake for between 4 to 5 minutes. After 4 to 5 minutes, what I typically do is I flip it over and let it cook for an extra minute. Just because I find that the top of the dough sometimes doesn't cook or doesn't look as brown. It's cooked but it doesn't look brown, so I turn it over to get a little brown before I then take it out. So once the puff puffs are fully cooked, you want to take them out of the cake pop maker and you can start enjoying them. So they're perfect warm, or you can have them at room temperature. I really don't enjoy them cold. You can enjoy them on their own as a snack, or you can enjoy them with other finger foods. They're absolutely delicious, and the mini bites are so yummy. you cannot stop at one. So I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. As I said, all tools and ingredients are in the description box below. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave comments for me in the comments field below. Take care now, and you enjoy the rest of your week.